You know, I am really excited to be here, and I don't think that I really understood this project till I got out here this morning. I couldn't figure out how the Unified School District was involved. They're not normally a partner in our affordable housing, and I found out it's their property, which makes them a pretty huge partner. But this is exactly what we are looking to do in San Diego, and what we've done in a lot of locations with a lot of nonprofit builders building affordable housing. But this project is kind of stunning in scale. I don't know that I've seen one quite this large and so ambitious, with mixed use and commercial and retail and housing and affordable housing and for sale housing and all the other parts of it. And it's along a transit corridor, which makes it that much more attractive. So this is an absolutely perfect location to be putting this type of housing in this type of commercial complex. And I am very excited about this. We've been talking about it for a long time, these types of developments, because they're incredibly important to the city and to our neighborhoods, and it really makes our neighborhoods feel good about having good housing stock and affordable housing that makes sense and makes families proud to live in it.
This is not really just about building units. As the mayor mentioned, you all have seen the trolley come right behind us a couple times now. We're on a transit line a few minutes away from downtown in the transit plaza that can get you just about anywhere in the city and the county. And so it's going to be key. This is going to be key to the continuing development and improvement of the communities. And just going to be so happy to have seen it from the very beginning, when the school board wisely decided to put this out to an RFP for a good community use, up until when we open this for families to come use this as a location.
Thank you, and good morning. The first thing I'd like to do is to do another special introduction to you. Where is Gary Grambling? Gary, stand up. Not often I get to tell him what to do. Gary's the chairman of the board of the Housing Commission. Mayor Sanders, one of your appointments to the board, and it's a board that's provided great guidance, direction, and scrutiny to me and to the staff. This property here is a good example of the policy set by your board. Gary, thank you, and Mayor, thank you for putting some good folks on the board. Comm22 reflects a critical policy decision that the San Diego Housing Commission has adopted, and that is to provide our families with more affordable housing that's not only good housing in itself, but is near transportation to provide access to work. For that reason, we are very proud to be an investor in this innovative transit-oriented development, which will remain affordable for the next 55 years. The Housing Commission has partnered with Bridge and with MAAC to provide financing for Comm22. And that financing is basically in three parts. The first part is a $4.2 million loan for the senior housing, which is funded primarily from funding from the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development, HUD's Home Investment Partnerships Program. The federal government, through HUD, is also a secondary or silent investor in this property. And it needs to be pointed out that without the federal government and their support for this kind of deal and this kind of operation, it wouldn't happen. This is the largest federal block grant program available that is used to create affordable housing for lower income households. Comm22's 69 senior housing units financed in part from this loan will be restricted to renters between 30 and 50% of area median income, which is between $19,300 to $32,150 per year for a two-person household. Estimated monthly rents for these senior apartments are as low as $407 per month for a studio apartment. Very affordable. The second part of the financing is for the family housing component of this project, and that's a Housing Commission loan of $500,000, which is coming primarily from the city's Inclusionary Housing Fund, which is a program set up by the city that provides much needed local financing for these properties. The 128 family units to come here will be restricted to households at 30 to 60% of area median income as well, which is $24,100 to $48,140 per year for a family of four. Estimated monthly rents for these units will range from as low as $828 per month for 2 bedrooms up to $919 for 3 bedrooms. The final part of the financing was produced by the Housing Commission and the Housing Authority's issuance of $15.5 million in multifamily revenue bonds, which were issued for the construction of the senior housing at Comm22, and $30 million for the family housing here as well. This represents a significant investment not only by the federal government and the city, but also by the total community. In closing, I want to thank Debbie Ruane, who I see standing in the back, and the Housing Commission's Real Estate Department. Debbie, you and your folks do wonderful work. Thank you. And thank you for allowing the Housing Commission to be part of the ceremony.
This is very exciting for us and very meaningful to us. One thing that we recognize at the school district is that we can't just assume that we're responsible for the lives of our kids when they walk in our schools in the morning, and then when they leave in the afternoon, we don't have that responsibility anymore. We know that the ability of our kids to live in good quality, safe, affordable housing, for kids to have solid preschool options before they come into the school district, for our grandparents to have decent places to live, and to have thriving commercial centers and neighborhoods actually creates the opportunity for our kids to do well academically and to succeed in life. And so, it's been a mission of ours in the school district to tear down the walls between the schools and the community, because we know those walls don't exist in the actual lives of our students.
But as you know, redevelopment, or as many of you know, redevelopment has died officially last February, and that source of funding is drying up as we speak. And for those of you and those of us who are committed to projects like this and neighborhoods like this, I think this is an opportunity to become rededicated to find new organizations and new tools to replace that which is lost in redevelopment.
I remember from March to June, when we submitted our RFP, I think I had 27 different community meetings, different people from the community, a lot of them here from way back then. And that is truly how this project came to be what it is right now, with the family housing, with senior housing. There's a preschool component, there's a retail, there's a there's a for sale component. The school district was very, very great partner from the beginning. It's a land lease, and we were able to actually negotiate a for sale component by vacating this street. The actual square footage of the street is where we're actually going to build the for sale component. So it took a lot of creativity to go through this whole process.
I just wanted to say we are so happy to see this groundbreaking finally happen at this site, and I know the community is too. And this helped to implement our SEDC strategic plan, where we could provide affordable housing. And even though our small amount of funding, it's small compared to CCDC's and all the other funders, we're so happy to be a part of it. It's a large amount of our budget.
Our community loves this project. Our community needs this project because affordable housing is what the community has been in need since the onset of gentrification. I can vividly remember 10 years ago when I sat at the school district forum where the future of this land was being discussed. And I can remember us organizing hundreds of residents to advocate that this land be used for affordable housing. That day we took action. We fought alongside with our city council member David Alvarez and MAAC project for this project to get constructed. The point is that we came together as one. We fought for what we deserve. I would like to thank MAAC project, Bridge Housing, and Councilmember David Alvarez for making this our community's dream, and necessity a reality, because you all know we all do affordable housing is essential for the health and the well-being of our working class families.
We expect to have infrastructure permits in hand within the next 1 or 2 weeks after long reviews, and we will soon be gearing up to construct the water, sewer, storm drain, and other improvements required to prepare the site for future housing. But the Comm22 project is fundamentally about providing much needed housing and services to this community. Construction of our family and senior housing phases will be gearing up later this year and into early 2013. We very much appreciate you all taking the time to be with us at this milestone for the Comm22 project.